Call the meeting order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement of advance notice. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the board secretary has caused notice of this meeting, including date, time, and location, to be posted in the South Brunswick Public Library and the board office file with the township clerk, communicated to the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger. Mr. Pulaski, roll call, please.
Mr. Patrick Del Piano. He's here. Mr. Raymond Keener.
Present.
Mrs. Joyce Mehta.
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen Parker.
Here.
Mr. Devin Patel.
Yeah.
Mr. Arthur Robinson.
Here.
Mrs. Lisa Rogers.
Here.
Mr. Joseph Scaletti. Absent. Mr. Barry Nathanson.
Yeah.
We have a quorum.
Just so the audience knows, and the board, Joe is in a meeting, business in Pennsylvania, so he wouldn't have been able to attend tonight. He spoke to me earlier. Please, as a reminder to the board, please keep your mic off unless you're speaking. And for some reason, if you leave the meeting, please take your video off. I appreciate that. Approval of tonight's agenda, please.
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Parker. Could I have a second?
I'll move it.
Second by Mr. Patel. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approval of minutes, executive minute, August 27th, and board minutes of August 27th. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Moved by Mr. Keener. Do I have a second? Second by Mrs. Rogers. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Guys, to get we need you recorded, so you got to take your mic off real quick. I'd appreciate that. So moving along to the report of the student representative, Zoya, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. As Mr. Nathan just said, my name is Zoya, and I have a few things to talk about regarding South Brunswick High School today, so I'll just get started. So first up, the activities department. So our virtual club fair is really soon. It's on September 29th. It's accessible through the link that was sent out a few days ago, the back to school night link to parents. And on the virtual club fair, students and parents alike, you can explore our 60 clubs and see what interests you, what you kind of want to sign up for. And this year, actually, we have a new club, so that's really exciting. We have Girls Who Code. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that, and that goes live on the 29th. So club activities. So clubs, for the most part, are meeting online this year. Some boards, like club executive boards, are meeting in person to plan their meetings. And Project Adventure is one exception to that. They're actually meeting at local parks as a whole club. So that's kind of a little bit about our club activities. Now I'm going to talk about the book pickup. So the book pickup has been happening this week since Monday, and it's gone fairly well. Some students, for whatever reason that they haven't picked up their books, you should email your assistant grade principal as soon as you can so you can get your textbooks and be ready to go for the school year. Seniors and freshmen have been receiving their convocation shirts at the book pickup. So everyone's going to be wearing those tomorrow. Students are highly encouraged to wear those tomorrow. And Yeah, tomorrow we're having convocation during 1B. It's really cool that we're able to have convocation tomorrow, even though it's virtual, because it's such a cherished tradition. And it's really nice to see that we can have that even in the current circumstances. And the whole school will be watching it as opposed to only the freshmen and the seniors. So that's all I had for the activities department. And now I'm going to move on to the athletics department. So next week is a really big week for athletics. I mean, the season is kicking off. So our first athletic event of this season is being spearheaded by girls tennis, and they will be playing against JP Stevens. That's happening this Tuesday on the 29th. Varsity is playing home, JV is playing away. And the opening day of all other fall sports is on Thursday, October 1st. And they will also be playing against Stevens, girls soccer, boys soccer, and cross country. And field hockey is going to be playing against Monroe. As for football, the first varsity game of the season is on Friday. So that's kind of exciting. Home versus Perth Amboy. And the freshman South Brunswick football team is going to be going to Perth Amboy to play their game. And girls soccer is going to travel to North Brunswick for varsity and JV on Sunday. Now, I just wanted to go over the fan guidelines because there are a few in place. Due to COVID, there is a limit on spectators and everyone is required to wear a mask and maintain social distancing. Anyone who's not following the COVID protocols is going to be asked kindly to leave the event. So yeah, just need to wear your masks. And entry for football games is limited to ticket holders only, so you can't buy a ticket at the game. And each varsity player is being given 2 tickets to give to whoever they want. So yeah, those are the COVID guidelines for being a spectator at one of the games. And if you want to have a head start and just know ahead of time all the games and the dates, you can just go to the high school website because the whole fall schedule is posted right there. And there's also a link there for that will take you to greatermiddlesexconference.org. So you can be in the know for everything fall sport related. So yeah, that was my report for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoya. I'm looking forward to the season start. I know the rest of the board and the public are too. Okay, moving along to the report of our superintendent, Scott Fetter.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you, Zoya. Welcome, Zoya, your first report. Zoya, I did like how you said we would kindly ask people to leave. The first time, Zoya, the first time we'll be kind. The reality of this is what we're trying to share and be clear about is we want to be able to have a second home game. We want to be able to have fans at a second home game. And we, of course, want fans at a third home game. So the only way that happens is people have to follow the rules. And that has never been more important than this. So this includes our scrimmage that's happening at the football game and any of the other sports where there's a scrimmage. You know, it's just vital that people understand the rules. And whether you agree with the rules, whether you think, whatever you think about mask wearing or social distancing, it just doesn't matter here. The reality is we have to follow these rules. They're the guidance from the state, guidance from NJSIAA, as well as our own guidance, so that we, again, our only goal of the first game is to have a second game. The goal of the second game is to have a third game to have a fourth game, fifth game, keep going. So we need all of your help and cooperation. And I know that Elaine McGrath, our athletic director, has shared that as well with parents and with students. So we're excited for the season. It's long coming since we've had a sporting game. Our last games, if you recall, back in March, was our boys basketball team potentially winning the championship, and that getting cut short with some controversy back then. But in the end, we hope for no controversy this time, and we're really looking forward to it. So Zoya, thanks for bringing that together and sharing about the clubs. And the kids, we're trying to give the kids everything we can. So good news. Thanks again for that. Talking about sports, we had some issue on our fields. We actually had a vandals who decided that our fields were perfect location for joyriding and purposeful damaging of our fields. So much so that they took a truck and started doing donuts all over our baseball field and soccer fields. It caused significant damage. We put out stuff from the school, we put out stuff from Nixle, and Jim Ryan informed us today, and I believe he sent that to Nixle, they have caught the main culprit, David French, out of North Brunswick. I am very fine using his name in public because his name needs to be in public. To do damage to student property right before a season is just unreal. And while we'll get it fixed, we don't know exactly how much damage, but a significant amount of monetary damage, as well as work that needs to be done to repair these fields. We will absolutely be pressing full charges, and we will be seeking full restitution. And we will not rest until we have both of those. So as a community, know that anything like that is unacceptable. And do know that one of the things that helped catch them were our cameras. We had cameras installed, and we have a perfect view of what was happening. We didn't quite get a license plate, but we obviously had enough for the police to track down this person and make an arrest. So thanks again to our awesome South Brunswick Police Department, who always come through for us. And just great news today for an unfortunate bad situation. All right, let me move on with talking about what's going on in the school district, because that's kind of the most driving force right now with what's happening with remote learning, where are we going, what's next, and all of that. While I'm not doing a full, thorough report tonight on that, I am going to try and keep you updated every week. So we have sent out a second health update, and that includes where we are in our phasing. I'm going to go over that a little bit today, but please be on the lookout for that document. It's going to come every Tuesday. Marianne Murphy, our awesome secretary who puts that together in a s'more, gathers all the information, all the data, all of our principals, athletic director, our remote learning centers input into that data. And then she works with the police department to get the local data. So it's a really good document to share where we are. Where we are still is we are in phase 4. It feels like we've been in school a lot longer than we have. I think we've been in school at 2.5 weeks. It just feels like it's been a long time. And I think that's because of the months and months of preparation. As we've shared before, Jen Disler worked with her team to create a remote learning module, which we've been implementing and will be implementing for a very long time because right now parents have the option to stay home for virtual learning. Even as soon as we open up all of our classrooms, it still means virtual learning will be occurring. So that's a very important idea. And what we've noticed in that is there are some issues. We've noticed the biggest issue right now is tech. To give you a little bit of information, tech is currently related to the compatibility of Zoom and Chromebooks. That seems to be our biggest issue. Of course, there's always connectivity issues, depending on where you are. I've had connectivity issues prior to the pandemic, and I'm sure families have as well. So this is now compounded by issues with how the Chromebook interfaces with Zoom. Now, we all wonder, why was this not a problem before? Apparently, Zoom pushed out an update, and whatever that update was, and I'm no techie, so I can't get into the specifics, but whatever it is, there's a conflict right now. We believed we found a patch and sent it out. We pushed that out. So anytime any child logged into Zoom, that's what happened with that, that the patch was installed immediately. But that did not come until we heard almost like a tornado of damage rip through some Chromebooks, and then that was fixed. But it's very upsetting when your entire world depends on the tech. Having tech that's not working correctly is a problem. I wanted all the families to know we are fully aware that there is a concern. We hoped it was better today, but we also have heard while it was better, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't finished. So we're still working on what that is. And I want you to let you know, we have backup plans. We're just not quite there yet. And that might even sound a little frustrating, like why not just use them? Well, the backup plans involve going to Google and switching platforms. And that's not such an easy task. So right now we are still working. I think our techs work 24 hours a day. I don't think they go to sleep. Or if one goes to sleep, that means one's up at all time. I don't think Sharon Johnson, our director of tech, ever sleeps. I mean, ever. 24/7, 365. I don't think she sleeps. And it's been great to have such an amazing team. to do the best they can with this. But in the immediate, it is a problem that we're trying to solve. What we've done is we've sent out an email to everyone. If you are having an issue, if your child is having an issue, please immediately fill out the Google form. We will swap out your computer with one that we've tested to make sure it works with the Zoom compatibilities and get that taken care of. We do not want you sitting with a computer that's not working. People are also asking, what about if I bought my own Chromebook and it's having issues? Let us know, see if we can help. Right now, we're trying our best to help everybody because this is our platform and we want to use it. Zoom is currently a better product than Google Meets for certain features. Google Meets is in the middle of upgrading their platform and making it better, and hopefully that'll happen soon, and that gives us more options. We just want you to know that we know what's happening. We know it's frustrating for you. It's very frustrating for the teachers, but in many cases, it's working just fine. I mean, we've given out close to 2,500 machines at this point, and we're not hearing about nearly 2,500 problems, but maybe people aren't contacting us. So we're asking our teachers to be mindful to see if we are seeing the improvements from the work we're doing. But that's just what we wanted to talk about clearly. And again, Jen, if there's an issue, they should go on that Google Doc, correct? And make sure that we know so we can help immediately. We don't want people waiting and hoping it gets better tomorrow. Let us know and we'll get on it immediately for you. Just to also let everybody know, we brought back some students. We have we have special needs students from Brunswick Acres, special needs students from Crossroads South, special needs students from Greenbrook. And Dayton, and they're in school. Not all the students, because again, not all of our students have chosen to come back, but all the students that have selected to come back in those self-contained classes are in full 5 days. They're starting off at 4-hour sessions and will be eventually moving to full day sessions. We're still moving through our phases. Today, we spent a lot of time looking at what would happen in bringing back our K2 kids or bringing back our K12 in a hybrid model. As much as we love the version of our hybrid model that we did, we think there might be other options for us to consider. I'm not going to get more into that yet, but we're working through some ideas and some possibilities. We do believe that a strong remote virtual model might be a better model than some of the hybrid models that exist. We are listening to our colleagues. Jen meets with her colleagues. I meet with my superintendent colleagues, and we're all trying to learn about the few districts that are doing various hybrid models to see what's working, what's not working. We don't want to reinvent a perfect wheel, but we want to make sure whatever we bring back and any changes we make, they're better. We don't want to make changes and then downgrade what is already happening. We're hearing, for the most part, the students that are handling the remote learning and are not having the tech issues, there's great things happening. Our teachers are absolutely amazing. In our special ed rooms, they're working with their paraprofessionals. It's amazing. You would never believe it would be this amazing. But we still know straight in-person learning, all of our kids back, much better. But that's not possible today. So we're looking. We've had good news on our COVID work. The information has been good. We are still now 0 cases in South Brunswick School District. That means 0 adults, 0 students. And you should know right now, every single day on campus, during the school day, we have about 500 people, kids and staff, in schools every day. And after school right now, we're hovering over 600 students and staff, probably closer to 700, to be honest, every day. And those protocols are working. So that's all very promising. The one area that I just need to bring up here, so people are getting ready and getting themselves in position, you cannot send kids to school that are sick. It is a complete change of culture for both adults and students. I think we're all bred in this part of the country that a sniffle, a cough, if you're not bleeding or broken, you get in your car, you drive to work, or you get on the bus and you come to school. You can't do it anymore. At this time, that's what will shut us down. Fortunately, our protocols have been outstanding. If someone comes to school that is not meeting those requirements, they don't get out of their car, they go home. If the teachers or our staff members, they go home. We have to be that way. And again, as I talked about with sports, if we want a day one and a day two, this is priority. And that means checking your child's temperature, not just filling out a form and just blah, 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 but actually making sure your child is not sick, making sure your child doesn't have symptoms. Because if they get to school and they have symptoms, they're going to go home. But it's possible the whole class might have to go home. And that's where the damage happens. And you're hearing it if you look in the newspaper any given day, because I think all the media wants to talk about are problems in schools. I think they're just designed to just do that. If they're not talking about politics, it's about schools closing. And pretty much every day you hear about large quarantines. Westfield School District, their high school closed for 14 days. West Windsor Plainsboro Middle School, large middle school closed for 14 days. This, that, and the other thing. It's all you hear. And the reality is they all have the same quality protocols. It just requires people to be as more vigilant than they ever have before. So you'll hear me keep stressing that as we go. Our goal is getting back to school. Our goal is not to just keep staying in remote. Our goal is getting back. So Zoya, you want to come back to school, don't you? Yeah, Zoya said yes. So Zoya speaks for all the students in the district. So Zoya just said all the students in the district want to come back. So thank you, Zoya, for that. So that's what we're doing. And you're going to see something coming from us shortly. I think it'll be early next week now at this point, where we're creating a survey. We worked on the survey this morning. I don't like to send a survey out on Friday, so we'll probably send the survey out Monday. And that is going to be a survey to families and staff that basically asks some important questions for our next phasing. We need to learn. And Jen talked a lot about that to our curriculum committee today, about the importance of feedback. Now, we purposely have not asked for feedback yet. That was not because we didn't care. The reality is you have to play it out for a little bit. You can't start after a week and then get feedback. Anything new, this level of new, needs time. We need time to work. So what we want to hear is, how's it going? And we want to ask some questions, and we want to get those answers. So it's going to be probably a 2 or 3 day turnaround survey, and that's going to be very informative for us on what we do going forward after that. So just know that that's coming. Jen and I will be doing our on the road show forums. We're probably going to do one parent one, not just break it up by level, but hear from parents all together. Jen, we're doing that. Is that next week or the week after? 2 weeks?
We probably 2 weeks, only because we said we wanted to get the survey, get some results, analyze the results so we could talk. So we'll be putting those dates out probably next week for the following.
Okay. So that'll be fun. We hope to have a lot of people join us. We believe, it's funny, a silver lining, right? That's our theme. We need to find silver linings. So I think forever, educators have been trying to figure out how to reach families. How do we get families to come out for events? Well, I guess we figured it out. They don't want to come out for certain things, but they're fine sitting home. And this Zoom or this concept of these virtual meetings, we've never had this kind of participation before. And I'm going to use the recent Parent Academy. When we did our social media Parent Academy, we were very excited that we had about 200 people come. That was like really cool. Like imagine that, 200 people. And we thought that was just the best thing in the universe. The first Parent Academy we had was it this week? I can't remember what day, last week. Jen, how many people were were participating?
At one point, there was about 500 people on it.
So 500 people. So I think we might have figured it out. Yeah. Virtual or not virtual, pandemic, no pandemic. I think we can't lose sight of this. I was speaking to a parent today, and she was telling me, listen, whatever happens, this is great. Like coming to board meetings. I never heard someone say coming to board meetings is great, but yes, coming to board meetings. And people can come to a board meeting and be participating and speak and be involved and come to meetings. So that's been a great thing, a great find, a great silver lining is getting the community more involved. I kind of talked about technology, went over athletics. Back to school last night, I have seen amazing feedback from the high school. The high school had their back to school night that involved no one coming back to the school, but it was a back to school night. If you got there, you got to see Barry talking, you got to see Pete Varela, the principal, teaching, and then you got to see all your teachers. And back to school night in a high school, when you have 6 6 teachers, 7 teachers to find, usually just like a boom, 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 boom. You don't really get any feel. This might be better. I don't know. This might be another silver lining. But the reality is I've heard amazing feedback. Congratulations and thanks to our high school staff, any of you that are watching tonight. That's just great news. So the next ones coming up are all the elementaries on September 30th. Crossroads South, the 6th grade will be September 29th. 7th and 8th will be October 1st. At North, 6th grade is October 5th, and grades 7 and 8 are October 6th. So now one of our things we're always really proud of is our Merit Scholars. Merit Scholarship is recorded from the PSAT. This year we do have 15 National Merit Scholar semifinalists. It's a great number. It's a very, very, very prestigious award, and we're very happy about that. We're also excited to be able to give the PSAT, which we will be doing. We're going to give it in October to our seniors. Our juniors. And January, if all goes well, to our 10th graders. So it's a little bit of a split this year because of size and numbers and the challenge of getting all those kids in. We are also one of the districts that is continuing to hold SATs. So we do have our SATs. Many districts, I keep getting emails. I know Mr. Varela gets more emails than I do on this, asking if they can come to our SATs because their schools have canceled. So again, Joe Holman is our director extraordinaire. We thank you, Joe, for keeping that together and training the staff and getting all of it done. It's a lot of work. So thanks again for that, Joe. Another major upcoming event is we have our 2nd annual Suicide Awareness Walk. This is going to be on Sunday at 11 o'clock. Look for information. A lot's been sent out from the high school. And Murph, make sure we send some more stuff out for that so that people know it's coming on Sunday, the 27th at 11 o'clock. And schools are closed on Monday in observance of Yom Kippur. So remember that, kid. You do not have to come to school. No buses will be running on September 8th, September 28th. Zoya, do not go for your bus, okay? And don't drive to school. Stay home. So that's what I have, everybody. Thanks all, and I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Nathanson.
Thank you. Okay, the recognition part, who's doing that? Jen, you're going to introduce Blair? Is she on?
Sure, I'm happy to do that. So David's going to promote Blair. She can just raise her hand if she hasn't already. I'm excited for our presentation tonight. Blair gets the honor and privilege to do this every year. And as you all know, this was something that we usually do in the springtime. We figured we would be back in person and be able to do it this fall. And here we are. So Blair, I see your smiley face. I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, well, good evening, everyone, members of the board, our honorees, their friends and family, and everyone tuning in at home. As Jen said, I'm Blair Eisman, Supervisor of Professional Development, and I have the privilege of recognizing our 2019-2020 Educators and Educational Support People of the Year. Among this group are actually 2 of our recent retirees, Joe Doherty and Lorna Hones. So I just wanted to be sure to give them a welcome back, even if it's just for tonight. I know your buildings miss you and wish you were back for good. So like Jen said, usually this recognition takes place in the spring, and as you know, we were remote, and we were really hoping we'd make it back by the end of the year so we could honor them in person, but that didn't happen either. So although we're virtual, I am thrilled that we're finally here and able to celebrate this well-deserving group tonight. So you might recall last year that our South Brunswick Reads theme was Mission Possible, and that is our theme this evening, and it really couldn't be any more fitting. All 23 honorees truly exemplify this theme. They make the impossible possible every day because of their work ethic, dedication, leadership, positivity, passion, knowledge, and love and pride for our South Brunswick community. So usually our honorees also receive a few gifts during this recognition, and we didn't want to let the fact that it's virtual get in the way of that. So just like celebrities had their Emmys delivered to their homes when they won, our honorees had some special deliveries as well. But they were given strict orders not to open the delivery until now. So honorees, consider this your your official go-ahead to open up your gift. So each year we always give our honorees a piece of student artwork to commemorate this special occasion. And when thinking about the theme Mission Possible, Dee Fon Lee's portrait of Malala Yousafzai was the obvious choice. For those who aren't familiar, Malala is a Pakistani education advocate who at the age of 17 became the youngest person to receive the Nobel Peace Prize after surviving an assassination attempt because she demanded that girls should receive an education as well. Malala is a model of Mission Possible, so I hope that our honorees will keep this portrait somewhere close as a reminder and a celebration and a thank you for all that you've accomplished and all that you're still gonna do because of your Mission Possible attitude. And thank you to Dee Fon Lee. She's a Crossroads North student, and her art teacher is David Castaldo, who's also being honored here tonight. Each honoree is also receiving a certificate and a beautifully engraved pen that was purchased by the PTOs from each of our schools. So thank you to them for their continued generosity and support. I call on them every year, and without hesitation, they are always happy to help. I also want to give a quick thank you to my assistant, Rachel Kalibas, for all of her work behind the scenes, Jennifer Gisler, Marianne Murphy, and all of those who helped me with what you're about to see. So tonight's recognition is actually in the form of a movie. You'll see each honoree some testimonials from their nomination letters and video messages from colleagues and administrators. So without further ado, I am happy to present to you South Brunswick School District's 2019-2020 Educators and Educational Support People of the Year.
Good morning, South Brunswick. I'm often in awe when I step into the kindergarten classroom of Kimberly Martin-Jones, and in these times, the virtual doorway. Kim is deserving of this honor because she goes the extra mile for her students, the parents, and her colleagues. She's dedicated, caring, driven, hardworking, supportive, and a leader in our Brooks Crossing community. And I'm grateful to work so closely with Kim, who can make any mission possible.
I'm so excited to say congratulations to Kim Martin-Jones, kindergarten teacher at Brooks Crossing. This is a well-deserved honor. One nomination says that she is a model teacher who goes above and beyond in her classroom responsibilities to continue to strengthen her professional knowledge and practice. I see this on a daily basis in Mrs. MJ's classroom, both virtually and in real life. I am proud and honored to work with you, Kim. Know that your students and the staff of Brooks Crossing are better because of what you bring to our community. Thank you for all that you do. You deserve this honor. Congratulations.
Hi everybody. We'd like to take a moment to say thank you to Miss Helen Beecher. No job Helen ever does is too big for her to accomplish.
Helen is always willing to go above and beyond the call of duty and is always there when needed. Congrats, Helen, on being paid for Educational Support Person of the Year. Well deserved.
Congratulations.
I'm Lisa Rogel, Assistant Principal at Brooks Crossing, and I have the privilege of speaking about Helen Beecher. Helen is the head custodian at Brooks Crossing, and of course she manages the buildings and oversees all work being done, but that isn't what makes Helen truly exceptional. She knows that her job is to keep the building running so that everyone can have an environment that is conducive for learning. She cares as much about the people in the building as she does about the building itself, and that is what makes her so amazing at her job. Helen, congratulations on your well-deserved honor.
Some missions are not a choice, but instead a calling. Luckily for hundreds of students and colleagues between two countries, I may add, Lorna Hoens followed her calling of becoming an educator. The South Brunswick community is all the better for this one simple decision that Lorna made many, many years ago. I won't say how many. The changes to education since Lorna began her career in South Brunswick have been plentiful. There have been too many passwords to remember, too much data to analyze, and more resources than you'd ever need. While at times this endeavor may have seemed like an uphill climb or like trying to catch a moving train, Lorna has spent over 5,000 school days handling every challenge with grace and a giggle. At the heart of Lorna's teaching is the only thing that truly matters. Students feel important and loved when they are in Lorna's room. There is no one more deserving of this honor. Lorna, I speak for all of my colleagues when I say that you made this job look easy. The tough student who was magically not so tough in 4th grade, the well-planned and incredibly designed bulletin board, the patience you have had to personally supervise recess, and the level of respect you instilled in your students will have a lasting impact on the South Brunswick community for years to come. Your mission is not only possible, but you did it with ease. Enjoy retirement, Lorna. Mission complete.
I'm so excited to announce our 1920 Educator of the Year, Lorna Hoens. Lorna has worked in the district for 25 years and many years in Canada before that, and just retired as of June 30th. Lorna truly embodies the spirit of Mission Possible. In her 25 years at Brunswick Acres, there was never a moment she didn't roll up her sleeves, dig right in, and make it happen, no matter what obstacles were in her way. No curriculum was too complicated, no kid was unreachable. Not only did she do it all with love and grace, but she supported and cared for so many of her colleagues along the way as well. We are eternally grateful. Congratulations, Lorna, on both this much-deserved honor and a definitely deserved retirement.
Hi, Mrs. D. We could not have been more excited for you to win this award.
Nobody deserves this more than you.
You truly fit the theme of Mission Possible because no matter what is thrown your way, you always handle it with ease.
You are always there to step up to the plate, take the challenge, and roll with it.
You truly touch every student that you work with, and you truly leave a lasting impression.
We could not be more excited for this well-deserved honor.
Congrats, Mrs. D.
Brunswick Acres is so proud to name Marietta D'Souza as our Educational Support Person of the Year. Marietta is an asset to our school community. She makes strong connections with her students, works tirelessly to support teachers, and is one of the most flexible people we know. If we have a new student that needs support or a change to her schedule, she welcomes it with a smile. Marietta makes the impossible possible, and we are so lucky to have her. From all of us at BA, congratulations, Marietta, on a well-deserved honor.
Mission Possible is this year's theme for an educator that proves highest esteem. From Cambridge, we honor Miss Antunes of 2nd grade for all of the dedication she has displayed. She welcomes all challenges with an open mind. The art of teaching is one she's refined. For herself and her students, she sets the bar high and models growth mindset so they can all fly. Innovative ideas she's always willing to share. Engaging activities are planned with such care. She's an exemplary teacher, mentor, and friend. Her skills and expertise truly transcend. This heart shows some of the words and the phrases from just a few people that she amazes. Miss Antunes, today we celebrate all that you do. Students and colleagues are lucky to learn from a teacher like you.
Hi everyone, this is Miss Pemberton from Cambridge Elementary School, and it is my honor and privilege to congratulate our 1920 Educator of the Year, Miss Cynthia Antunes. Miss Antunes is a 2nd grade teacher here at Cambridge, and whether it's in her classroom or an after-school program or PTO event, Ms. Antunes is always working 100% to make sure that the learning environment for our children is as positive, warm, and fun as possible. So thank you so much, Ms. Antunes, for all your hard work, and congratulations.
Hi, South Brunswick. Surprise, Mr. Paul Keller. Paul Keller makes the impossible seem possible on a daily basis. He's always coming to school with a great attitude and a smile. He takes care of others consistently on a daily basis. He has the biggest heart of almost anyone you could ever meet, and he's always willing to take the shirt off his back for anyone else in his school community. Mr. Paul Keller, you exemplify making all the impossible possible. Congratulations. We are so proud of you at Cambridge.
Good evening. It's my honor to talk tonight about our Cambridge Education Support Person of the Year, Mr. Paul Keller. Mr. Keller is a custodian like no other. Everyone knows him. The parents at Cambridge know him. He's always willing to help out our PTO when they have an event. Our staff know him because he comes in and chats with us all the time. And our students know him because of his friendly attitude. Mr. Keller is helpful and kind and willing to go the extra mile to support anyone at our school. And it's my honor to have worked with him.
Ellen Garinger is the perfect person to receive this honor. She is the definition of mission possible. As a teammate of hers in 3rd grade, she's made every mission I've set out to complete possible since I've started at Constable. She is the epitome of an amazing mentor, colleague, and friend, not just to me, but to every person who has ever crossed paths with her. Every day, she sets out to make her classroom the place where students can come in, feel at home, and believe that anything they want to do or achieve is possible. Congratulations, Ellen. You deserve this.
Hi, Ellen. It's your former principal, Peter Ratine.
And your current principal, Christina VC. We're here to say congratulations and to celebrate with you on this very special occasion.
You are such a hard worker. You come in early and leave late each day. Your kids are so lucky to have you.
The students, staff, and families at Constable benefit from your professionalism, your creativity, and your dedication. We thank you for all you do for Constable and congratulate you on this very well-deserved honor. We look forward to working with you for years to come. Thanks, Ellen. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Mrs. Lucas is a team player in all aspects. She is always positive and is there for everyone. She is dedicated to her students present and past. She always puts her best foot forward and always encourages her students to always try their very best. Mrs. Lucas is a Mission Possible Marigold.
Congratulations, Sue, on this incredible honor. We are so proud of you here at Constable Elementary School. You truly embodied the district's theme last year of Mission Possible. There is nothing I can think of that you can't accomplish for your students or the staff that you support. You're always willing to come in and assist us and support the building. And not only do you do that and you're just so selfless with your time, but you always make sure the needs of your students are met and come first. So again, congratulations. We are so incredibly proud of you. And I'm just honored to be able to make this video for you. Congrats.
So when I hear the words Mission Possible, I think about Jess right away. She is such a phenomenal teacher. She gives it all she has. To her, every mission is possible. And when she reads books to those children, the excitement on their face, and she brings the books to life. And the kids just can't wait to become readers themselves. And to see her read to them and the joy that she has just watching her kids thrive is something that is just wonderful to watch. So Mission Possible, to Jess, every mission is possible because she puts her whole heart into it. Congratulations, Jess.
everybody, it's Jody Mahoney, principal at Greenbrook Elementary School. I'm happy to celebrate our Teacher of the Year from Greenbrook Elementary School, Jessica Griffin. Jessica is a light and a shining moment at Greenbrook School. She's a special education teacher who makes the most of every day in school and always makes you smile. She's a fierce advocate for our students and makes everybody's day better just by being in the room with her. She champions kids and makes sure that everybody feels successful every single day. We are so lucky to have her at Greenbrook Elementary School and in South Brunswick. Congratulations, Jessica Griffin.
Ruth, when you first came to Greenbrook School, I had the pleasure of working with you. I've seen firsthand how nurturing you are. You have such a big heart and always put the student first. You are always ready to tackle a challenge. No mission is impossible for you. Congratulations on being selected South Brunswick School District's Extra Support Person of the Year for Greenbrook School.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Fady, and I'm the assistant principal at Greenbrook School, and it's my honor to speak this evening about our support person of the year, Ruth Parascondalo. Now, I don't just love Ruth because she's a fellow Met fan. I love her because she's an amazing paraeducator. And I say that with all honesty. She's an educator at heart, supporting the classroom teacher in her self-contained classroom, building connections with students, and being that person for those kids. She takes direction well, she always has a positive attitude, and she comes to school every day for the love of her students. I'm so proud that I work with her here at Greenbrook School, and I'm so proud that she was nominated for this role.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Leach, and I'm honored to be here with you this evening to congratulate my friend and colleague, Miss Chris McMahon, on being recognized as Educator of the Year. Miss McMahon has always had a mission possible attitude. Simply put, she inspires others, her students and colleagues, to do better and be better. She always has a can-do attitude, thus making anything possible. And if you think for a moment that you can't do it, she's always there to say, we will do it together. Providing inspiration to her students and colleagues, during 2020, she has made learning and teaching possible remotely for countless people. Working with Ms. McMahon during these unprecedented times has been my silver lining. And I want to just take a moment to say congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. McMahon, who I know must be so proud of their daughter. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chris. This is such a well-deserved honor for you. You represent Indian Fields so well. Every day you come to school with such hope, such positivity, and it rubs off on all of us here. Certainly when you work with the students, you show them what they have the possibility of doing, and that in turn becomes their reality, and they make such strides under your watch. Congratulations and thank you for representing Indian Fields, the students, the staff, and all of the community here so well.
Karen Hand deserves this recognition simply because for Karen, no mission is ever impossible. She always works with every student with an open mind and an open heart, no matter what their needs or their abilities. She's someone I've been honored to work with for about 10 years now. Even when I was a student teacher, she was a para in a preschool classroom, and I was able to learn so much from her, and really couldn't be more thrilled for her to get this recognition. And Karen, as one of our former students would say, XOXO kiss. Congratulations.
Karen Hand makes things possible. Supporting our youngest students with disabilities or autism is challenging work. Yet Karen greets every child with a smile and patience, and she greets every day with creativity and optimism. Indian Fields is stronger because of Karen, and we are proud to recognize her. Thank you, Karen.
When you think something is impossible, who do you turn to? Beth Caruso. Beth loves her students. She meets the needs of everyone. She's hysterical, caring, techie, and very knowledgeable. She goes above and beyond for all. As a colleague, if you need a laugh, customized shirt, a high five, or encouragement, who is there? Beth Caruso. So, it's not impossible, you just need to be Tom Cruise. Or Beth Caruso.
Hello, Beth Caruso. This is Dr. Redmonds, your current principal at Monmouth Junction School.
And I'm here too. It's Christina Vesey, your former principal.
Beth, we want to let you know we're so proud of you, and you're an absolute rock star, and you've always been a rock star. It's a great honor.
It is a great honor, Beth, because we can't imagine anyone who has more Monmouth Junction blood running through their veins than you. Thank you for everything you've always done for us, past, present, and future. The students, families, and staff at Monmouth Junction are so lucky to have you. Congratulations!
Congratulations, Beth.
And I wanted to congratulate you once again for receiving Education Support Person of the Year. I couldn't think of a more deserving person. I am so lucky to have you by my side each day in the classroom. You truly go above and beyond, whether it's prepping materials, decorating our classroom, running group lessons, or helping some of our most vulnerable students with special needs. The love and compassion you show our preschool students is truly amazing, and we are all so lucky to have you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Annie. We are so proud of you at Monmouth Junction, and there's no one I can think of that is more deserving of this award and recognition. You truly embody the district's theme of Mission Possible last year. You do so much for our pre-K students. You're always with them and put their needs first, but you also do so much for our building and are such a supportive and loving staff member. We're incredibly lucky to have you, and again, congratulations, and I'm honored to be able to make this presentation video for you. Congratulations again.
Congratulations to Dave Castaldo for earning Educator of the Year. This honor is very well deserved. I am always impressed by the talent and creativity that Dave brings out in his students. He also finds so many ways to connect with them through art club, ski club, stage crew, and track. This past year gave us a lot of challenges, but Dave really embodied the theme Mission Possible. He created interesting and varied remote art lessons to students that often had minimal supplies, and he kept them engaged and learning. It is such a pleasure to be able to work with Dave. Congrats.
Hello, I'm Kim Bino, principal of Crossroads North. It's my pleasure to share that our Teacher of the Year last year was our art teacher, Mr. David Castaldo. He's so deserving of this award. David teaches a large portion of our school population. Most students who go through here all have Mr. Castaldo. Children love him and love to be with him. He has large classes and he never says no. He always says, I will take another kid, and he'll do it with a smile. Well deserved.
Liz Kutarski exemplifies the idea of Mission Possible. For more than 20 years, she's worked in the library. She greets the students, checks out their books, shelves hundreds of books a day, manages the posters maker for the school, the student ID system, and she works with the students in the hallways, in the lunchroom, and every task that she is asked to do, she carries off with equanimity, grace, and skill. She is an amazing colleague, and we are very lucky to have her.
Hey there, Liz. We just wanted to take a moment to congratulate you again on being selected the 2019-2020 Educational Support Person of the Year.
We're so thankful to have you as a member of the Crossroads North family and recognize you for this well-deserved honor. Congratulations again, Liz.
Hello, South Brunswick. My name is Kristen Sims, and I am a teacher at Crossroads South Middle School. Before I get started with my task, I just want to give everyone a little PSA. Make sure that you read the descriptions on Amazon fully so you know exactly what you're ordering, or else you might end up with a tiny mic like me. Just kidding. I totally did this on purpose. But onto my task. So I am here to speak a little bit about our Educator of the Year from last year, and that's Mr. Joe Doherty. Hopefully, when I said that name, you have a smile on your face, you have some warmth in your heart, because that is the kind of person Joe is, and that's the kind of impact that Joe has as an educator. His ability to reach students, to reach staff, to reach administration is something that not many people have, and Joe had the ability to do it all. He is a legend here at Crossroads South. He is a legend in South Brunswick as an educator, as a coach. Pretty much any title you could give him, Joe lived up to it and then some. So Joe, thank you for helping us all become the people that we are. Speaking for myself, you know that you are a huge part of my life. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional here. You're a huge part of my life, and I would not be where I am without you. And I am not the only one that can say that. There are many, many people out there that have that same feeling and believe that as well, because it's true. You have had that impact. Joe, we love you. The staff loves you. The students love you. The administration loves you. The district loves you, and the community loves you. And you are so worthy of the title of Educator of the Year. We're going to miss you at Crossroads. Enjoy your retirement. Enjoy your Educator of the Year title. It's a way to go out, man. If you're going to do it well. We love you, Joe, and congratulations.
Hey everyone, it's been about 2 weeks of this new school year and we've been off to a great start. But there's one thing missing. Joe! Hey Joe! Joe! We need ya! We can't do it without you, Joe! We need you! And to be quite honest, it's getting pretty cold. You can't play golf forever. Whenever you want to come back and join us, we're waiting for you, Joe. Congratulations!
Jess and Linda, there is one word to define your work and time at Crossroads South: exceptional. The time, effort, and care you put forth daily into our MD and life skills students is not only exemplary, but it sets the standard. We're so proud of all that you have achieved this past year. We value both of your dedications towards making the magic happen to ensure our students' success. Congratulations to both of you on making the impossible seem possible to all of us. We are all so grateful for what you both do. Please relish in your accomplishments, as you deserve nothing less. Thank you.
This year, we are happy to honor two of our support staff members from Crossroads South, Miss Jessica Betcher and Miss Linda Murphy. Both of these paraprofessionals work in our self-contained education program. They work tirelessly to support our students with the most challenging academic, social, emotional, and behavioral needs.
They are both passionate about helping students meet their goals in teaching independence. Their love of learning is infectious. Please join us in celebrating Crossroads South Support Staff of the Year, Mrs. Jessica Betcher and Mrs. Linda Murphy.
Andre Hallow, the meditating metalhead, congratulations on being named Educator of the Year. From Kimball Center to creative writing, from AP English to the faculty room, you carry yourself with a humorous and accessible enthusiasm that makes everybody at SBHS feel comfortable and accepted. I've been your coworker for the past 16 years, and in that time I've learned so much from you on a professional, intellectual, and personal level. But I've also been your student. I signed up for your mindfulness PLCs a few years ago and then came back every time it was offered. Each session was a packed house of your colleagues, and we all hung on your every word as you went through ideas of mindfulness, presence, and flow. And that's exactly what makes you so worthy of this honor. You approach everything, especially teaching, with a flow and a presence that puts everybody at ease and makes them ready to learn even the most challenging of concepts.
Educator of the Year is awarded to a teacher who strives daily to provide the best instruction. This year's recipient, Mr. Andre Halla, not only accomplishes that goal, but also makes it his mission to ensure that each student knows how much he cares about them beyond the acquisition of English skills. His ability to engage his students in the study of literature and language comes naturally, as he is dynamic while delivering his content. But it is his ultimate mission to ensure that his students feel respected, valued, and accomplished when they leave his class. It is for those attributes that our Viking community has recognized Mr. Halla as South Brunswick High School's Educator of the 2020 school year. Congratulations, Andre.
Vicki Gartland has been working for the South Brunswick School District for almost 30 years. She's one of the most kind, compassionate, and caring individuals that I've ever met. She works tirelessly on behalf of the Little Vikings program and of the whole department. She makes sure that if we have a need, the need is fulfilled. She often knows the need before we even know our need. Nothing for Vicki is mission impossible. We love you, Vicki. Congratulations.
My name is Kristen Laskin, and I am the Supervisor of Applied and Fine Arts at South Brunswick High School. I am here tonight to honor and congratulate Vicki Gartland on being named the South Brunswick High School 2019-2020 Educational Support Honoree. Vicki has been an integral part of our Little Vikings preschool at the South Brunswick High School for almost 2 decades. As a dedicated member of the Family and Consumer Science Department, she has worked with both teachers and high school students to develop and manage a quality preschool service for hundreds of students in our community. Moreover, Vicki has demonstrated her commitment to the program by going above and beyond to assist our teachers and me whenever the need has arisen. She has always prioritized the best interest of our students, both big and small. Vicki, I personally want to thank you for your service and congratulate you on this well-deserved award. Congratulations!
Jill Chiswick embodies the theme Mission Possible, not only with students but also with the greater South Brunswick school community. Jill works with students in 9 buildings and coordinates with so many colleagues in order to keep the G&T program running smoothly. She uses creativity to offer unique experiences that challenge many of our brightest students. Who knew that a first grader could navigate a Google Sheet?
Well beyond the school day, Jill can be found on her computer, coordinating events or attending meetings. She is always working hard for our school community, both as the SBEA Pride Committee Chair and a trustee for the Education Foundation of South Brunswick. While this would keep most of us far too busy to take on anything more, Jill still manages to be a trusted resource for anyone who needs her. For all of these reasons, Jill is most deserving of being an Educator of the Year, and we are so lucky to call her our friend and teammate.
Hi there, Suzanne Luckborn, Director of Student Assessment, and I'm here at the starting point for Miss Jill Chiswick's career. We are honoring Jill tonight as this year's District Educator of the Year for the 1920 school year. And now, Jill travels to all of our elementary schools, providing gifted and talented services to our youngest learners here in South Brunswick. Congratulations, Jill.
Hi Maria, congratulations on winning the District Educational Support Person of the Year. You definitely deserve it. Thank you for all you do to support myself and the other SIS secretaries. You're always so patient, kind, and knowledgeable. And no matter how busy you are, you always stop to help us when you get the call and never make anyone feel like we're a bother. No matter how stressful things can get or new changes that have to be implemented, with your help and support, I always know the mission will be possible. You're the best.
Hi there, Suzanne Luckborn, Director of Student Assessment and Instructional Support, coming to you from the office of Maria O'Donnell, our District Support Person of the Year. This is definitely the space where amazing things happen, and she strives to make the impossible possible. We're very lucky to have her in this role, watching out for all of the district students.
So congratulations again to all of our honorees. They are a phenomenal group of people. Some people were texting me saying there was a bit of a delay with the video, and I apologize. Those tech troubles strike again. I'll make sure that I send the video out to all the honorees so that they have it. But thank you for tuning in tonight and celebrating this group with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Blair. That was fantastic. And I noticed most of the award winners were on the or currently on the feed. I want to congratulate all, and I apologize for not being there in person to give you a handshake or a hug, because I definitely missed that, and I know my fellow board members do too. So congratulations to all. And thank you, Blair, again, for a fantastic presentation. Moving along, we'll go into the public comment. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. Complete copies of the rules that govern this portion of the meeting can be obtained in an advance copy by contacting the board office during regular board hours. We reserve the right to limit each speaker to no more than 3 minutes. It is our plan to listen to each member of the public. We will note all questions and comments. Once all questions and comments from all members of the public are made, the Board of Education will respond, if necessary, to questions or comments in the most timely and effective manner available. Please consider not repeating comments and questions made by our members of the public. I ask that you state your name, place of residence, or group affiliation. Can I get a motion to open to the public, please?
Motion.
Moved by Mrs. Rogers. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Keener. Mr. Pulowski, do we have anyone that put in to speak tonight?
Yes, we have first up Akash Kannan. I'll let him
Okay.
the opportunity to talk. He has to unmute himself and he has the floor.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen in South Brunswick Township. This is Akash Kannan speaking. I would like to tell you my suggestions for South Brunswick senior class in high school, beginning with South Brunswick High School class of 2021, eliminating senior skip day and providing an educational experience basically on that day, like an assembly or after high school life presentation will prepare seniors for college and beyond rather than having them do senior skip day, because in the past I've seen people who did senior skip day that are doing nothing in their lives right now and they're struggling. I mean, I feel that a senior presentation after high school on the day that senior skip day is occurring will help seniors in high school, beginning with class of 2020, and prepare for college and life. And I feel that everybody should advocate for this. And do you guys all agree with me?
Akash, we don't always respond. We just listen for tonight, okay?
I was just talking about senior skip day being eliminated, and everybody should come to school, and instead doing presentations for seniors after high school life what to expect and how to prepare for it instead of senior skip day, because this will help seniors get an educational experience and have life experiences beyond high school.
Thank you, Akash. Good idea.
This is from Akash Kanan. I hope all of you take that into consideration. I love you all.
Bye, Akash. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
We have someone next. There's
Yes, we have
another person with their hand up, right?
Yep. Let me put Akash back in. Victoria Anno Gartland.
Victoria, you can go ahead and find your mute.
There you go.
It won't stay unmuted. It keeps clicking. It just as a recipient of the award, thank you very much. And I'm just very pleased and very happy. I didn't mean to click. And just to let you know, Akash, there is no senior skip day. That's their own holiday that they make up. Thank you.
Thanks, Victoria. I appreciate that. David, there's another person with their hand up.
We sure do. We got Yanni and Lana Yaris.
Hi, Alana Kachinetsky. I am actually a graduate of a South Brunswick School District, and I am just listening in because I was a third grade student of Mrs. Hones, and I just want to congratulate her on this special award. And I am excited to hear that she has retired and is taking time for herself finally. And I know my brother was a student of hers, and now my oldest is in third grade, and I had such fond memories of her, and I hope that he has fond memories of his third grade teacher. So if she is listening, thank you, Mrs. Hones, for all that you did for me when I was in third grade.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Anyone else? No one else. Right?
Well, we have Akash up again. He still has his hand up. I don't know if he wants to speak again or he just did not put his hand down.
Okay. There's no one else, correct?
There's no one else. I'm going to just
Okay.
make sure.
Hello, this is Akash Khan. I'm not going to repeat again, but I would like to congratulate all the people nominated for Teacher of the Year and Support People of the Year. It was nice getting to know them through middle school and high school, and I love all of them. And I would also like to tell you that my proposal is for South Brunswick School District to partner with Rider University and TCNJ so high school students can take college classes on their campuses during high school, during the school day, beginning with the 2022-2023 school year, because this way, high school students will be prepared for college and will have an easier transition into college and will not get in trouble. Do you guys all feel that's a good idea?
Good idea, Akash.
But I love all of you. I want to tell you that I'm doing well in college. I'm keeping up my job at Wendy's, and I'm pleased to tell you that I have made a decision to rush Alpha Phi Omega in fall 2020. I love all of you.
Thank you, Akash.
Thank you, Akash. Okay. There's no other hands, correct?
Yeah, one more hand. Shara?
Oh, Shara. Yeah.
All right. Shara, you have the floor. You have to unmute.
All right, Shara, going once. Going twice. All right, Shara, you can email us or you can email me and I'll get it up there for you if there's anything you want to share.
Okay. Doesn't look like there's any more hands, correct?
No.
Okay. Can I get a motion to close the public portion, please? Moved by
Motion.
Joyce, second by Lisa. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Any board committee reports?
No, Mr. President, we met,
Yeah,
curriculum
go ahead.
committee met today, but report will be at the October 15th meeting.
Okay. Thanks, Devin.
Thank you.
Moving along, approval action items, consent agenda, September 24th. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Parker, second by Mr. Keener. David, roll call, please.
And this one, guys, we have to respond to verbally. So if you're muted, you can take that off. Mr. Patrick Del Piano,
Yes.
Mr. Raymond Keener,
Yes.
Mrs. Joyce Mehta,
Yes.
Dr. Stephen Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Devin Patel,
Aye.
Mr. Arthur Robinson,
Yes.
Mrs. Lisa Rogers,
Yes.
Mr. Barry Nathanson.
Yes. Motion pass. Thank you. Moving to board comments and communications. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no hands, real quick. One of the songs that were played just now during the presentation was Ain't Stopping Us Now, It's Stopping Us Now. And I believe that's how we've been going into this COVID. I'd like to thank senior staff, Scott Fetter, Jen Disler, Kim White, and David Pulowski for going above and beyond. You've logged in probably the most Zoom minutes probably in the state, so I want to thank you. I want to thank all the teachers, the support staff, the librarians, the nurses, the people that are manning the remote learning centers. I got to especially thank Jeno and her staff doing a fantastic job. And I want to thank my fellow board members. It hasn't been easy doing these meetings, and I appreciate it. And so tonight I want to wish anybody that celebrates Yom Kippur may you be put into the book of life. And I want to wish those that fast an easy fast. Please stay safe, South Brunswick, and good evening.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Oh, that might help. Moved by Ray Keener. I have a second. Second by Dr. Parker. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.